My name is Vikash Goyal. I'm the CTO at Centerline Biomedical and the lead inventor of the founding technology. What we've developed is a modern, state-of-the-art way to navigate. It lets a surgeon see what they're doing in color, in 3D, multiple viewpoints with visual aids. It's like Google Maps for your arteries. So we're all familiar with GPS. It's this technology that lets us know exactly where we are anywhere in the world. So under the table in the operating room, we have this array of antennas, and these are like the satellites that are in orbit. So each of them is sending out signals. And then on our tools, like the catheters and guide wires that go inside the patient, we have little receiving antennas. So these are like the antennas in your car or in your cell phone. When we process the signals that come through there, we can figure out exactly where the patient is because we put a tracking marker on them. We can figure out exactly where all our tools are. And then we combine that with our special 3D modeling algorithms to provide the navigation that IOPS gives you.
Cleveland Clinic has been around for over 90 years, and innovation is just part of the DNA of who the organization is, and it's immutable in the people that we bring into this organization. Centerline is one of those technologies that both improves the current standard of care, but also provides an opportunity to expand the use of the technology to other physicians who historically may not have been able to use the technology.
I think the biggest safety advantage of IOPS will be the improved visualization of the vascular anatomy and our ability to track better where are we within that anatomy. We can do that on a three-dimensional basis, which we can't do with current fluoroscopy.
The core technology on which the company is founded actually got its start when I was doing my master's thesis research at Cornell University. At the time, I was working with Don Greenberg, one of the giants in the field of computer graphics. Don brought his son Roy in to visit. I didn't know it at the time, but Roy was one of the world's leading vascular surgeons. He came and did a presentation for us and showed us what endovascular surgery is all about, how we use stents and stent grafts and guide them with X-ray fluoroscopy to repair arteries from the inside out. And we set to work on trying to use computerized modeling to assist with this type of surgery. X-ray fluoroscopy is a system that fires X-rays over and over, like 5 times a second all the way up to 20 times a second. And these procedures are typically done with the patient on a table and several caregivers standing right next to that table. This used to be something that we didn't really think too much about. Honestly, Roy Greenberg's illness is one of the things that spurred the community into paying attention. He had developed a rare form of cancer, appendiceal carcinoma. Many of us that knew him and worked with him feel that fluoroscopic radiation was to blame. We're using X-rays that cause damage to healthy tissue that are really limiting in what they let you see. And we're doing that to put the latest state-of-the-art grafts in. It doesn't make any sense.
I think most vascular surgeons or all vascular surgeons in the country or in the world would be interested in this technology, trying to, again, minimize the chance of exposure of radiation and its complications. I'm hoping this can actually take over.
Yeah, it was kind of a long road to find the best way to make use of what we had invented. When we did, we set about right away to produce an actual product out of it. And through the Innovative Practices Committee at Cleveland Clinic, we were able to test it on 2 human subjects during surgery. And that's when we worked with Cleveland Clinic Innovations to found Centerline Biomedical.
Centerline is one of those few companies that checks just about every box you can ask for, and that it improves outcome, it improves safety, and it also yields either more revenue or lower cost to both up to the hospital, and also it allows the physician to generate more revenue by doing more cases in the typical day. We're well beyond a proof of concept and in the final stretches of getting ready to submit to the FDA and have a on-the-market commercial product.
The IOPS technology is at the doorstep of commercialization. We're going to use the funds that we raise to facilitate our commercial launch and to get our product into the hands of clinicians, both in the United States and globally. At the time of founding, Centerline was given an exclusive license to the 10 patents that were developed at Cleveland Clinic for this technology. And we plan to use some of the funding that we're raising in order to expand this IP into other applications beyond the aortic interventions that we're starting with. In anticipation of commercial launch, we've already begun building our internal sales force. Initially, we're working with key opinion leaders, the thought leaders in endovascular surgery. But at the same time, we've been working with strategics and GPOs to ensure the capability for a broad market launch. Centerline Biomedical is working to create a world where every patient has access to the best and safest form of care, and in which their healers don't have to suffer to provide that care. It's not going to be that long before we look back at today and think of it as barbaric that we used to irradiate a room full of people just to fix an artery.